और 74 तक तो मिल में काम किए हैं और एक आंदोलन में हम लोग निकाले गए वर्कर्स की कठिनाइयों की लड़ाई के लड़ने में, और इस वक्त पूरी तरह से यूनियन में काम कर रहे हैं।
I have been working in a textile mill known as Elgin Mill till 1974, and during one struggle of workers I was victimized and I was thrown out of the factory, and after that I started organizing the trade union activity in the factory, and now I am working as a whole timer in the union.
वहाँ के वर्कर्स को करीब 4-5 महीने काम करने के बाद भी उनका वेतन नहीं मिल पाया था, जो कि हर 15 दिन के अंदर मिल जाना चाहिए। और जब उसके बारे में उन्होंने ज़्यादा मांग की और डिमॉन्स्ट्रेशन वगैरह, आंदोलन वगैरह, घेराव वगैरह किया, तो उस पर पुलिस ने गोली चलाई, जिसमें करीब 13 लोग शहीद हुए और करीब 250 लोग अरेस्ट किए गए, जेल में बंद रहे, और उनके भी मुकदमे इस वक्त भी चल रहे हैं और वो लोग बहुत आतंकित किए जाते हैं।
There is one another mill in Kanpur. The name of the factory is Swadeshi Cotton Mill, and in that factory workers were working in the factory, but they were not being paid their wages. The rules and the normal law is that they should be made fortnightly, so payment should be there, but they were not being paid, and they were not being paid salary for 4-5 months, means near about 10 fortnights. And so workers were agitating. They were organizing a picket at the mill gate, and police has intervened, and police resorted to firing, and in that firing 13 workers had died, and near about 250 workers were arrested by the police, and they were in jail for a period of near about 4 months, and criminal cases against those workers are still lying in court of law. They are still pending.
मुख्य रूप से सूती मिलों में जो काम करने वाले कर्मचारी हैं, मजदूर हैं, उन मजदूरों की दिन पे दिन हालत बहुत बिगड़ती चली जा रही है और जितना प्रोडक्शन होना चाहिए उतना प्रोडक्शन नहीं हो पा रहा है, इसलिए कि वर्कर्स काम करने जाते हैं लेकिन कच्चा माल, बिजली, कोयला, इन चीज़ों के अभाव की वजह से मशीनें बंद रहती हैं और सब्स्टिट्यूट, परमानेंट, टेम्परेरी वर्कर जो है वो बेकारी और भूखमरी का शिकार होता है, और परमानेंट आदमी का भी नौकरी खतरे में है। एक तरह से उन वर्कर्स को भी अपना भविष्य अंधकार में नजर आता है, इसलिए हम लोगों ने ये सम्मेलन मुख्य रूप से आयोजित किया था।
Is saying that the conditions in textile mills is getting from bad to worse every day, and production is going down. There is a recurring paucity of raw material, and substitute workers, contract workers, casual workers, temporary workers and even permanent workers are not getting work in the factory.
इसीलिए मुख्य रूप से हम लोगों ने ये सम्मेलन का आयोजन किया था और उसी के अनुसार हम लोगों ने ये विचार किया कि ये जो दिक्कत है, ये दिक्कत सिर्फ सूती मिलों के अंदर काम करने वाले मजदूरों को संगठित करने से नहीं दूर होने वाली है, क्योंकि ये बीमारी जो है तो पावरलूम, हैंडलूम और कुछ घर खाते वगैरह के लूम्स होते हैं, उन लोगों में काम, उन जगहों पर काम हो रहा है और उनको बहुत कम वेतन देना पड़ता है। इसलिए एक तरह से गवर्नमेंट की योजना ही है कि कम दामों पर काम कराया जाए और जो संगठित वर्कर्स है उसको संगठन या लड़ने की स्थिति में न रखा जाए, उसको तोड़ दिया जाए।
He is saying that because textile workers in these textile factories, they are organized, and because they are organized, they can struggle for their demands, for their problems. So government has adopted a policy that more and more production now is taking place in power loom sector, in handloom sector, and in these sectors workers get much less wages than they get in organized textile mills. So they want that if production goes in those sectors, then the organized textile mills can be weakened.
अधिकतर तो गवर्नमेंट सोचती है कि वर्कर ट्रबल क्रिएट होगी और मिलों की हालत बहुत ख़राब है, इसलिए उन मिलों को ले लेती है। लेकिन
लेती तब जब बंदी कगार पे जाती है।
जब मिल बिल्कुल बंदी होने के कगार पे आते हैं तब चलती हैं और हालत राष्ट्रीयकरण करने के बाद भी ठीक सुधर नहीं पा रही
और
खराब होती चली जा रही है।
और उसका मुख्य कारण है कि खूब चोरी होती है अधिकारियों के द्वारा भी, सरकार के लोग भी खूब चोरी करते हैं जिनके।
Government takes over only those mills which become sick, which are very bad, and the earlier employers have exploited those industries completely and then deserted them, and then they go in the hands of government, and government is also not making any investment in those mills to improve their conditions. So even after the nationalization of those mills, the condition is going from bad to worst every day.
इस सिलसिले में हम लोग बराबर गवर्नमेंट से मांग भी कर रहे हैं कि इन मिलों की जो ये हालतें हैं इसको सुधारा जाए, लेकिन कोई ध्यान नहीं दिया जाता। और कई बार हम लोग जो संबंधित मंत्री हैं, मिनिस्टर्स से बातचीत की, लेकिन वो सब हाँ में हाँ तो कर लिए, मेमोरेंडम ले लिए, लेकिन उसके बाद भी कोई कार्रवाई नहीं की और धीरे धीरे करके मिलों की हालत ज़्यादा भी होती गई। तब मजबूर होकर के तय करना पड़ा कि जो वर्कर्स है उसके बीच में बैठ के बातचीत की जाए और कोई आगे का मजबूत या ठोस रास्ता तलाश किया जाए, इसलिए हमको करना पड़ा।
We have been submitting memorandums to government, to ministers. We have been talking to them, bringing problems to their notice, but things were not improving, and finally we decided that the workers should sit together and they should think and they should decide that what they can do about these problems.
ट्रांसपोर्टर बाबू या रेलवे वो व्यापारी बाबू मिल करके बीच में ये हजारों लोगों को रुपया जो है लेवरेज कंपनी का लूटते हैं, जिसकी जानकारियां सभी लोगों को नहीं होती। लेवरेज क्या है, लेवरेज क्यों बढ़ता है, इसकी जब जानकारी आप प्राप्त करेंगे
Have discussed textile policy. Another group has discussed the question of awareness and training. Another group has discussed the question of collecting the information. Another group has discussed the question of linkages with other sectors of the working class. So now the group leaders are reporting that what they have discussed in their groups and how they are going to do it.
इन नारों के साथ हमको ये प्रयास करना है कि अगले समय में किस प्रकार हम कानपुर के पैमाने पे, उत्तर प्रदेश के पैमाने पे कॉन्फ्रेंस बुला सके, और इसके लिए निश्चित रूप से वो जिम्मेवारी कुछ लोगों को देना चाहिए, एक कमेटी का गठन होना चाहिए और उस कमेटी का सहयोग भी नियुक्त करना चाहिए। और उसी प्रकार हम चाहने पर ही पूरे कोई मंच नहीं बना पाएंगे। हमारा काम शुरुआती दौर में ये हो सकता है कि हम लोगों के साथ संपर्क करें और इस संपर्क के माध्यम से हम प्रयास करें कि अखिल भारतीय स्तर पे एक कॉन्फ्रेंस बुलाया जा सके सूती उद्योग का, पावर लूम और हैंडलूम के कर्मचारियों। ये है एक कदम, एक पहल।
On one side, we should try to organize the power loom and handloom and try to organize the conference of those workers as well as try to build their organization locally. At the same time, we should try to contact the other industrial centers, means textile centers, and try to organize an all India textile conference.
इसी से जुड़ी हुई एक सुझाव अपने दूसरे ग्रुप से आया था, जहां पे आम मजदूर को जागरूक करने, उसकी समझ बनाने, अपनी समझ बनाने, प्रशिक्षण आदि का सुझाव आया। वहां पे भी कई मुद्दे आए जिनपे की प्रशिक्षण और समझ बनाने की बात उन्होंने साफ रूप से रखी है, पर उन्होंने भी ये सुझाव दिया है कि कुछ इस तरह की व्यवस्था की जाए कि समय समय पर उस तरह की जानकारी, समझ बनाने की प्रक्रिया, प्रशिक्षण आदि चालू रहे।
ये है मेहनत कशों की निशानी,
ये है मेहनत कशों की निशानी,
खून से तर है इसकी कहानी,
खून से तर है इसकी कहानी,
ये रहे तो रहे जिंदगानी,
ये रहे तो रहे जिंदगानी,
ये मिटे तो मिटा दो जवानी,
ये मिटे तो मिटा दो जवानी,
इसकी लाली को खून से बढ़ाना,
इसकी लाली को खून से बढ़ाना,
अपना झंडा न नीचे झुकाना,
अपना झंडा न नीचे झुकाना,
अपने झंडे को लेकर बढ़ो तुम,
अपने झंडे को लेकर बढ़ो तुम,
इसको लेकर किलों पर चढ़ो तुम,
इसको लेकर किलों पर चढ़ो तुम,
हर तरफ अपना ही राज होगा,
हर तरफ अपना ही राज होगा,
तब ये दुनिया का सरताज होगा,
कभी दुनिया का सरताज होगा,
अब तो आया है इसका जमाना,
अब तो आया है इसका जमाना,
अपना झंडा न नीचे झुकाना,
अपना झंडा न नीचे झुकाना,
अपनी हड़ताल जिस दम चली थी,
अपनी हड़ताल जिस दम चली थी,
तब मची शहर में खलबली थी,
तब मची शहर में खलबली थी,
लाठियां गोलियां भी चली थी,
लाठियां गोलियां भी चली थी,
खून से तर वो सारी गली थी,
खून से तर वो सारी गली थी,
याद रखना वो गोलियों का खाना,
याद रखना वो गोलियों का खाना,
अपना झंडा न नीचे झुकाना,
अपना झंडा न नीचे झुकाना,
चंद मजदूर जो मार डाले,
चंद मजदूर जो मार डाले,
ऐसा कहते थे वे भोले भाले,
ऐसा कहते थे वो भोले भाले,
खूब जी भर के जालिम सताले,
खूब जी भर के जालिम सताले,
बेगुनाहों पे गोली चला ले,
बेगुनाहों पे गोली चला ले,
रंग लाएगा गोलियों का खाना,
रंग लाएगा गोलियों का खाना,
अपना झंडा न नीचे झुकाना,
अपना झंडा न नीचे झुकाना,
मशविरा एक साथी का मानो,
मशविरा एक साथी का मानो,
सुन लो मजदूर ओ ए किसानों,
सुन लो मजदूर और किसानों,
सुन लो मजदूर ओ नौजवानों,
सुन लो मजदूर और नौजवानों,
एक होकर के जौहर दिखाना,
एक होकर के जौहर दिखाना,
अपना झंडा न नीचे झुकाना,
अपना झंडा न नीचे झुकाना,
जान की इस पे बाजी लगाना,
जान की और बाजी लगाना,
अपना झंडा न नीचे झुकाना,
अपना झंडा न नीचे झुकाना,
इनकलाब
जिंदाबाद
मजदूर एकता
जिंदाबाद,
कमाने वाला
आएगा
लूटने वाला
जाएगा,
नया जमाना
आएगा
नया जमाना।
आएगा।
धन्यवाद कॉमरेड।
आएगी।
Now they are spending their job.
हो रही है
And many of them are suffering from the chest disease, tuberculosis, silicosis, etc. And even their loss of weight and other, because there is no proper ventilations, no proper food. So almost all these workers are suffering from lot of diseases because that they work in the humidity, and here in the house there is no air on, many people stay in the one room. So that way it is a very shocking and bad pictures. See.
हम लोग मिलों में जैसे कि आपके वहाँ है उससे ज़्यादा हालत ख़राब है, उससे अच्छी नहीं है। और करीब करीब आदमी रिटायर होने की उम्र के पहले ही या तो इस्तीफ़ा दे के चला जाता है। बहुत कम लोग होते हैं जो पूरी सर्विस कर पाते हैं, अधिकतर लोग बीच में ही छोड़ देते हैं।
दमा टीबी
और उनके टीबी, सांस और इस तरह की बीमारियाँ पैदा हो जाती हैं और उनका इलाज भी ठीक से नहीं हो पाता। अस्पताल है लेकिन वहाँ पर इस कदर घूस देनी पड़ती है, रिश्वत देनी पड़ती है कि वहाँ गरीब आदमी के लिए इलाज कराना बहुत कठिन हो जाता है।
उसके बाद
They are saying that conditions in our mills are much worse than they are in our factories. Most of the workers are not able to complete their full service period, and because of their health problems, many of them are forced to resign before they are able to complete their service period, or they die before completing the service period. And diseases like tuberculosis, diseases like asthma are very common. And though the hospitals are there, but there is hardly any treatment available in the hospitals, and we have to give them bribe if we want some treatment there, and without giving any bribe, no treatment will be possible. So the conditions are very bad, and we think they may be, comparatively speaking, they may be much worse.
ये कानून में तो है लेकिन उन कानूनों का ना कोई इम्प्लीमेंट होता है, और अगर आप कोई शिकायत भी करें गवर्नमेंट को तो उस पर कोई जांच वगैरह भी नहीं होती है। यहाँ तक कि इंस्पेक्टर्स वगैरह कुछ जाते हैं और जाके एम्प्लॉयर से मिल के उनके जो संबंधित ऑफिसर्स होते हैं लेबर ऑफिस वगैरह चाय पी करके चले जाते हैं।
He says all these things are provided in laws, but they are only on paper. Management don't provide any of these kind of information, and whatever machinery we have, like factory inspectors and all that, they visit factories, and whenever they visit, they go only to management people. They have their tea and coffee with them, spend some nice time with them, and they come back. I will give you some background that how they participated in this workshop. Because for quite some time, for quite few years, we have been experiencing that more and more workers are getting some of the other kind of diseases related to their chest, and they are getting admitted in the hospitals and they are not able to come to their workplaces, they are not able to do the work. And there have been cases in which workers have been asking for premature retirement because they have not been able physically to do the work. And whenever we used to sit together, we have been discussing these things, or whenever we used to visit the hospitals which are almost packed with textile workers, ESI hospitals, and there have been so many cases in which young people, today I am talking to one worker activist, and tomorrow I am told that the worker has got admitted himself in a hospital because he was vomiting blood. And more workers are getting very bad state of their health, and they are always reporting to us that conditions in the factory are becoming unbearable and it's not possible for them to work. And more workers have always been pleading for transfers to such sections where it's easier to work. And at an aspirational level, they were feeling that much of this is related to their work conditions, and particularly to cotton dust present there, to the temperature, to the humidity, to the level of noise, chemicals, vapors, gases, all these things. But all these things become very acute, very glaring only when they become incapable of working and they are hospitalized. And whenever we have gone to hospital to see our worker activists there, and whenever we have talked to doctors, whether they have taken the blood test or X-ray report or things like that, they have always told us that they have got some chest problem, some asthma trouble, something to do with tuberculosis and things like that. And our workers were getting treatment for those kind of things. At times there were some temporary relief and they used to come back to their job, and again after a month or couple of months there were problems like that. They had a very vague idea that the kind of symptoms like Monday fever and things like that, it may be related to bisonosis, but beyond this point they were knowing nothing about bisonosis also. As a matter of fact, many of the worker activists, some 2 months before this workshop, they had never heard about bisonosis, and this paper that I brought from Lucknow, we got only a couple of months back. So this Bombay workshop was an occasion where they thought that they can learn more about these things. And when we discussed this thing, this Bombay workshop program, and when we received this invitation, we circulated it to our worker activists. We discussed this thing in meeting, and they were very much interested and enthusiastic about this thing. And 8 members delegation of worker activists from different textile mills of Kanpur went to Bombay. And as now I can see in retrospect that this workshop was very much valuable for them.
तो हम लोग ये अपने मन से सोचते थे कि इसको टीबी हो रही है, और उसका कारण ये है कि परिवार लंबा है, रहन सहन की ठीक से व्यवस्था नहीं है, और भोजन वगैरह ठीक से नहीं मिल पाता है, इसके कारण कमजोरी बढ़ती है और इसको इसलिए टीबी हो रही है, ऐसा हम लोग पहले सोचते थे.
Till today, many of us had all kinds of wrong impressions. If a worker complained that he had pain in the chest, we would think that the worker was getting TB, and the cause for TB was because his standards of living were not good, because he was not getting adequate food, because he had a big family, and so on.
लेकिन आज जब जो डाटा हमको मिला था पढ़ने का, उसको पढ़ने के बाद जब आज इस चर्चा में भाग लिए तो लगा कि हम काफी गलत सोच रहे थे, कारण दूसरा है.
But after reading the papers that were presented to this meeting and also participating in the discussions, we learned that these were wrong impressions.
आज हमने जिन मर्दों का नाम सुना और अपने साथ होने वाली बीमारियों को उनसे जोड़ा तो लगा कि यही मर्द है, लेकिन इनको डॉक्टर बता नहीं पाते हैं, जैसे बिस्मोसिस की कोशिश आज
When we heard about these diseases here and then we related them to our own problems and diseases, we then realized how close they were related to each other. And even the doctors are not even able to tell us most of the time that we are suffering from diseases like silicosis and piscinosis and so on.
और अपनी उन गलत धारणाओं का हमें एहसास हुआ
And then we realized our misunderstanding.
हमारे यहाँ कॉटन के कारखानों में जो प्रॉब्लम होती है वो कपास की धूल से जो डस्ट, पहले हमारे यहाँ कॉटन जब आती है तो कॉटन चेम्बर में जाती है जहाँ वो काटे रखी जाती है, बेल उनको हिंदी में कहते हैं। उसके बाद वो ग्लोइंग रूम में जाती है, तो ग्लोइंग रूम में जो हालात है काम करने के, उससे जो डस्ट जो धूल उठती है वो सीधे नाक के जरिए ही और सीधे सीधे कोई बचाव का साधन तो है नहीं, तो मुंह से भी अंदर चली जाती है। और उसके बाद मजदूर को जुकाम शुरू होता है, यही से मर्ज की शुरुआत होती है और आखिर में दमा, श्वास फूलना, टीबी और फेफड़े सुकून आ जाना आदि बीमारियां हो जाती हैं। और ये प्रक्रिया 5 साल से 10 साल के बीच काम करने वाले मजदूरों के साथ होती है, जिसका अंत सही इलाज न हो पाने के कारण जिंदगी के खात्मे के साथ ही हो जाता है और कुछ लोग आदि लोग छोड़ देते हैं।
The cotton that comes into the cotton mills is in the form of bales, which is first kept in the godowns, and then after that it is taken to the blowing rooms. This is the place where there is a lot of cotton dust in the air, and there are no precautionary systems taken, as a result of which that the dust goes into the lungs and finally leads to various kinds of problems like asthma, TB, and also blood comes out from the mouth, and finally this leads to death, or many people leave the factories before they've worked out their full lifespan.
और ये कपास की धूल की गंदगी किसी विभाग में कम, किसी विभाग में ज्यादा प्रायः सभी पाई जाती है और इसका प्रभाव सभी विभाग के मजदूरों के ऊपर होता है।
This cotton dust affects people from almost all the departments of the factory. In some departments it may be less, in other departments it may be more, but it affects almost all the people within the factory.
इसके अलावा गर्मी भी एक खास कारण होती तकलीफ के मजदूर के, कि किसी विभाग में तो इतनी ज़्यादा गर्मी होती है कि मजदूर गर्मी से व्याकुल होकर के गिर पड़ता है और काफ़ी परेशान हो जाता है और उस गर्मी के कारण उसको कभी कभी बुखार आ जाता है।
Heat is another major problem for the people working in the textile industry. Sometimes the heat is so much, it becomes so oppressive that people will even faint, and this often sometimes even leads to high fever.
जैसे स्टार्टिंग है वहाँ अक्सर लोग गर्मी से व्याकुल होकर के गिर पड़ा करते हैं और उनको लाद के लोग अस्पताल ले जाते हैं।
People often faint in the sizing departments of these mills, and then they often have to be carried over to hospital.
कोई विभाग ऐसे हैं बहुत ज्यादा परेशान हो जाता है और हमारे मजदूरों के ऊपर इसका ये असर होता है कि वो जोर जोर से बोलने की आदत उसकी बन जाती है, जिससे दम लगा के बोलता है तो सीधे उसका असर बैठता है और कान में जब धीरे से बोलिए तो सुन नहीं सकता है, उसके सुनने की ताकत कुछ कम हो जाती है और सिर में दर्द और नींद में भी बाधा पड़ने लगती है, निद्रा की स्थिति पैदा हो जाती है और उस जोर जोर से बोलने के कारण वो ज़्यादा थकाव भी महसूस करता है। ये मशीनों के शोर के कारण ये प्रॉब्लम होते हैं।
The noise in the factory is so much that most of the people who come from outside are not even prepared to stay there. But the workers who keep working in this noisy environment then lose their power of hearing slowly. They also pick up the habit of speaking very loudly. And this over a period of time also creates tiredness and so on. एक दो चीज़ और बताई थी बीच में आपने? There is always a lot of headache.
ऐसा कोई तरीका नहीं अभी इजहार किया गया है कि उन केमिकल से हाथ का बचाव हो सके या पैर का बचाव हो सके, ऐसी कोई सुविधा हमारे शरीरों को मुहैया नहीं है।
Workers have not yet been given any or told about any techniques by which they can take care and prevent themselves from their hands and legs getting attacked with the acid.
अब हम बताएं आपकी कक्षा इधर ले जाएंगे कि ये जो हम समझ रहे थे कि टीबी हो जा रही है, तो आज डॉक्टर साहब हमारे साथ मदद करने में बैठे थे। उन्होंने बताया नहीं, इस तरह से सीने में दर्द होती है, खांसी आती है, बलगम गिरता है, तो इस तरह के मर्ज को बिस्नोसिस कहते हैं। तो हमने डॉक्टर साहब से पूछा कि इस तरह के मर्ज का नाम हमने भी कभी तक सुना नहीं था, ना हमारे डॉक्टर ने बताया था कि बिस्नोसिस है। ज्यादा से ज्यादा वो यही कहते थे कि टीबी हो गई है, और खास करके 90% से भी ज्यादा लोग हैं इसकी, उनको जुकाम से शुरू हुआ और धीरे धीरे बुखार आया, खांसी आने लगी, बलगम गिरने लगा, और बलगम के साथ खून, किसी किसी को खून मामूली आता, किसी किसी को खून के जैसे होने लगती है।
We have not even heard of this word bisonosis. We used to think that when the chest and the pain takes place, that it is normally tuberculosis, and that is usually what the doctor tells us. In most cases, what happens with the workers is that it starts off with a small cold, and then it develops into a cough, and then slowly there is pain in the chest, and finally you start getting vomiting of blood, and then excessive vomiting of blood.
और इस तरह के कम से कम 50% मजदूर जरूर इस मर्ज के शिकार हैं, जो 5 साल के बाद ये मर्ज शुरू हो जाता है और 15 साल में सबको करीब करीब प्रभावित कर लेता है।
This disease almost starts 5 years after in almost 50% of the workers, and by the time they are 15 years old, that is they've been working for 15 years, this disease has affected almost everyone.
लेकिन दुर्भाग्य है कि ना तो इसका कोई निदान है, न डॉक्टरों को इसकी जानकारी है। मैंने डॉक्टर साहब से कहा कि डॉक्टरों को इसकी जानकारी क्यों नहीं है जो हमारे यहाँ है, तो डॉक्टर साहब ने बताया कि ये मेडिकल कॉलेज में पढ़ाया नहीं जाता और डॉक्टर अपनी तरफ से कुछ प्रयास करते नहीं।
Unfortunately, there is no solution for this problem, and also what is worse is that the doctors are not even aware of this problem, of this disease. And when we had asked the doctor who was in our group why this is so, the doctor answered that this is because doctors are not normally told about these diseases.
हमारे कानपुर में जो दवा की पद्धति है ESI, राज्य कर्मचारी बीमा निगम के माध्यम से हम मजदूरों की दवाएं होती हैं, तो उसमें सभी मर्ज के एक ही टेबलेट हमको नजर आए हैं। टीबी हुई है तो वही टेबलेट और वही इंजेक्शन और वही कैप्सूल, इस एक ही तरह का, और अगर बुखार हुआ है तो भी वही टेबलेट वही कैप्सूल, पेचिस पड़ रहा तो वही टेबलेट वही कैप्सूल, मतलब सारे मर्जों पर एक ही प्रयोग हमारे यहाँ के डॉक्टर करते हैं। और वो देखने की जांच करने की जरूरत समझते नहीं है, वो फौरन पूछ देते हैं क्या हुआ है, डॉक्टर साहब खांसी आ रही है, तो बलगम आता है कि नहीं आता, सूखी आ रही है कि नहीं आती, ऐसा कुछ पूछते नहीं, एक दवा लिख दिया उन्होंने। दूसरा आदमी गया, डॉक्टर साहब हमको हल्का बुखार हुआ है, तो वही दवा लिख दिया, पेचिस पड़ रहा तो वही दवा लिख दिया। तो ऐसा करके सभी मर्जों पर उनकी एक सी दवा, एक सी राइटिंग, एक सी तौर तरीके हैं। तो ये बहुत एक खराब बात है और हम मजदूरों को दुर्भाग्य है।
और ये दवा अस्पताल में आने के पहले एक विज्ञापन से मरीजों के नाम शुरू करके आती है, अस्पताल में आने का दवा पहली डाल जाती है।
Now let me tell you about the medical system with which the workers have to face. It does not matter whether the worker, what we have found is that it does not matter whether the worker has got tuberculosis or has got fever or has got dysentery or whatever. The doctor will just prescribe simply that same one tablet.
आला हमने किसी डॉक्टर के सीने में कभी देखा नहीं तो आला लेके आया हो डिस्पेंसरी पे।
I've never seen in the employee state insurance that hospitals that the doctor has ever come to check the patient with his stethoscope.
और इस पद्धति को देख करके जो हमारे यहाँ दवा की पद्धति है उनको एक बहुत पुरानी बात याद आती है कि एक रात घराने में बैठे थे तो हर मंच पर सराय पत्ती की चीज के पीछे ऐसा बताया करते थे, तो हमको याद आता है कि वो लोग अभी हमारे बीच में मौजूद हैं।
When I think about the medical system, I'm reminded of an old story where in a king's court there used to be a herb, an herbalist who used to give the same herb for every treatment. And what he's saying is that our medical system has not progressed beyond that.
Now going back to Kanpur, because in Bombay only 8 workers went. After going back to Kanpur, now they have started organizing group meetings and study circles and discussions, and in those meetings they are informing other workers about what happened in Bombay workshop and what they learned in Bombay workshop, and particularly they are telling other workers about bisonosis, its symptoms, and how many people are dying every year in this country from a disease like bisonosis, and how many persons may be suffering from disease like bisonosis, and what we can do about this thing, and how we can put pressure on the government, on medical authorities, and the management about this thing, how we can improve our workplace. And not only on bisonosis, they are talking about noise, level of noise, because for example in Bombay workshop, this was for the first time that they came to know about permissible limits, about decibels, what is the limit of noise beyond which it becomes very much harmful for them. Because as they know and as they see for themselves, quite a long number of textile workers are hard of hearing, and they have various other problems related to their nervous system and their physiology, which they feel are related to the cause of noise. But now they can concretely experience and they can understand that what is all this about. Similarly is the case with humidity and gases and vapors and temperature and things like that. So this Bombay workshop has been really very much eye-opener kind of thing for them, and not only that they have got some information, they are convinced that some kind of struggle can also be organized around these questions, and to organize only wage struggles is very limited kind of struggle, because it is not touching very important, very vital kind of issues that is affecting their day-to-day life.
पण ते तसं असं म्हणजे त्यांच्यासाठी म्हणजे तशी त्यांचा प्रॉब्लेम आम्ही फाईट करतो ते पण भाऊ
तुमचं जुनं सेटलमेंट कुठे आहे एक्झिस्टिंग ग्रेड्स आणि गेले का? See, last 25 years their living conditions are becoming so worst. No revision in the wage, the work has gone up, the mill owners are diversifying the fund and every year making the mill sick. So it is so much frustrations, and they realize now this union, mill owners and the governments are exploiting. So no other alternative but we must come together and resist and fight to any extent. See, this is a mental makeup of this worker's mind. There is no guarantee of the job, because every year these employers are making, mill owners are making this mill sick by manipulating and diversifying lot of huge amounts in other industries. And every year about 10-15,000 workers has to leave the job. So all these textile workers mass, about 250,000, I think it's equal number as US, has literally frustrated. They are staying in the center of Bombay, majority of them. They are from this Maharashtra area, we call Konkan and Paschim Maharashtra. About 2-3 generations they are doing in the same work. And they are staying in these old dilapidated buildings which needs lot of repairs. One room or 2 rooms. There is no proper sanitation, there is no water. Almost all these buildings needs the repairs very badly. Everywhere 3-4 buildings are collapsing. And in each room they stay about 5-10-15 people. Hardly area is about 200 or 150 feet. And these are the old rented rooms which are having cheap rent. That's why they can't afford to shift their residents in any other new accommodation in Bombay, which is many times costlier than existing their tenements. So the living condition in Bombay also gone so high that lasts about 3 years. The daily requirements like food grains, oils, etc. gone about 40% up. But these people are so much poor that they can't manage their family daily living expenses. So such type of bad conditions these workers are facing. Moreover, they are from the villages, and that villages are not fertile, there is no land where they can get the crops. So many of these people are staying without their families. More than 50% of the workers, wife and children, they are at the native place, village place. Old father and mother, they are almost all there in the village place because they can't maintain the family. Therefore, out of this poor earning, they will have to send some amount to maintain their family there. Even some of the systems, we call them as a gala system or group system. So the rooms were hired by 1-2 men in the buildings, and 10, 15, 20 workers are staying in one room. You see, and they are sleeping as per shifts, using the bathrooms and latrines as per watch timings, going to native place and taking their holidays as per adjusting throughout the year. So it is worth considering. If you visit some of this, we call them gala, see the group staying of the workmen without families. You see, all bags are kept in one side and all chappals are at the gate. People sleep just touching their all beds. You see, there is no what we say. And so all they have to adjust. You see, night shift people should sleep, they should go work, the day shift people should sleep. So that way they accommodate themselves. And therefore this working class has now decided that we must fight against all these economic demands, injustice, no guarantee of the jobs. In such a poor service conditions, they have decided that they must organize themselves and go for any type of sufferings, but these evils must be solved. And with such determination they came to me. So textile workers as a whole, they are all frustrated, you see, in all that, and they lost their faith in the trade unions, governments, and therefore they have decided, I think, little more faith in my work because I am doing in lot of other factories. But it is a strike sponsored and initiated by themselves, and nobody realized, even not a government, not the opposition parties, that these workers, those who are so poorly paid, had made up their mind to continue these struggles for years together. So this is one of the phenomena. Even I also observed after so much prolonging of the strike. I never thought the strike will go on for years. I am expecting for months because I know all this vicious circle of the government employees in that union. That is one thing. Second very important point is, when the strike started on 18 January 1981, it is a peaceful strike, not a single worker turned up at the gate. This is a quite unusual phenomenon. In prior strikes, few people are going in, police are obstructing, but here not a single workers went in. And about 60-70% of these workers went to their native places in 8-10 days after the strikes. So hardly 30-40% workers are left in Bombay, and 4-5 months the strike went on peacefully. This has shocked the mill owners because this has never happened before. This has shocked the government because nothing is happening, no workers are coming at the gate even. So their expectations that because they are poor workers, they can manage to break the strike by creating some, and then after 4-5 months, the Congress government and direction from the center has heavily came out to break the strike. And then the directives are given to the mill owners to stand by at any cost. We must break this strike, teach lesson to me, teach lesson to the workmen. And therefore the mill owners have advertised in the press and started recruiting the new people under the police protection. The banning of assemblies and moving of the other workers was done in all these mill areas. 40 of my activists were prevented under National Security Act, kept behind the bar. All meetings were banned, new recruits were taken. So such type of breaking of the strike started after 5-6 months after this. And because of such type of new recruits and banning and breaking of the strike, then some violence came, and I think it is a peaceful strike. You see, I never observed that so many lakhs of people for so many years the strike should go on peacefully. But some violences came when the government and the police started breaking the strike. So after about 1.5 years, few people went in because we can't measure the strikes, you see, in years with so many poor families. And the morale is fantastic. The people who have gone in their native places were working on the roads, on employees guarantee scheme, on 6-7 rupees, cutting off the sugar canes, selling of the small goods, all type of manual jobs which they have never seen and heard. The lakhs of workers started doing in their native places because just to
villages, they went back to
yes, they went back to their villages and took any job there. Some of them were fortunate to have their farms, but they are very few. So they started working there in their farms with new mechanism of improving the agriculture. So the model is fantastic, you see. They have just accommodated, adjusted, and they never came forward to ask for the much monetary help. Another important point is I am having another 10-15 lakhs workers in my organization. So after my call, they took out 1 day's salary and about 4 to 5 crores of Indian rupees we have distributed to workmen, those who were in Bombay. Those who are here, they are hardly about 30 to 40%. It is not the big amount, but as far as our country is concerned, it is also the good record for that. And the workers have, about 50% workers has gone in, and still the 50% are out. But those who have gone in, they still continue to be with my union. Those who are out, they are with my union. The problems of both these workers are not solved. On the contrary, they become more complicated. The workload has gone up. They didn't get any demands. Canteen rates has gone up. Harassments of the union and the mill owners is more for the workers who has gone in. In spite of all this, the workers still maintain their unity and they are with me. Those who are out, they are also suffering. Now the government came out after 2 years to nationalize some of the mills. But these mill owners has diversified crores of rupees, and these nationalized mills are having crores of rupees, the bank loans and the government loans and the private loans. And even if these mills to be run properly, then there is modernization and mechanization should be done. For this needs the crores of rupees. And therefore now this whole trade as such became, so issue became so complicated that I don't think there is any immediate solution is observed, you see, in the short sight. See? Oh, for this I have forgotten. We had a big long march, about 10 lakhs workers joined. You see, all my, yes.
Thousands, that would be.
200,000, yeah.
So that will be 1.2 million.
1.8. No, 10 lakhs means 1
million.
1 million, yes.
10 lakh, 1 million.
Yes. So these workers joined this long march. All my other workers joined order to support. From Baikala to Bombay, about 10 kilometers. See, about 40,000 workers had a satyagraha. We call it defiance of law, and they got a court arrested. Then 40 workers arrested under national security. And all type of such peaceful agitations were going on. Now the thrilling point is, these workers, 4 months, 5 months out of 250,000 workers, not a single worker went at the gate to resume the work. There is no need of such a big strike for the police to be interfere. This shows the commitment of these workers to go on. Second thing is, in spite of government's police and all machineries are in place, that prevention of movements in that area, arresting 140 activists under national security, all such type of acts, recruiting the new people in these things, they never lost their morals. On the contrary, when such type of strike breaking came, they resisted it. They have thrown the stone, obstructed the vessels, there may be some violence. So though they are starving for 6 months and there is no that much backing for me, still to fight against just thing, you see, I don't blame the workers because of this violence, you see, which came after 6 months. This is because so much anti-labor activity of the government. I blame the government. So this is another point. Third point is, after 1.5 years they have gone in, still they remain loyal to me, you see, or my organization. See, all election inside which took place of the society, All my people were elected with 90% of votes, though I am not going and canvassing them. They may be little morally hurt, they may be little shy to go for agitation immediately, but they are 100% with us, you see, and all type of radio propaganda, day and night, press propaganda day and night, politicians against me, not even opposition parties have supported us. In spite of such all these no or odds, all these workers who are not educated, very important, they are not even 10th standard or matriculate, vernacular people, not knowing much politics, not isms of this word, they are becoming still committed, still with that same status of mind, though they are starving and all this thing. This is really fantastic, you see. I don't think the world labor movement should make more studies on this issue instead of, study on this is worth studying, yes. At present, the future of the textile workers is very difficult to say, but it is not good, because these mill owners have swallowed crores of rupees and they have diversified, started other engineering industries, and they are not bothered. Second thing is, if they sell the closed mills lands, they will earn much more. The government is totally with them because it is bargaining with their illegal means of earning. See, so that way. And then another aspect is lot of powerloom and handloom started in our country, in the cities and villages, where the workers are again exploited by giving the less wage. But because this is a employment to unemployed people in the village, so political people are taking the advantage of that, and mill owners are also taking the advantage of the same situation at the cost of exploiting and damaging the total life of the textile workers in cities, in Bombay, Ahmedabad, who has helped them in last 100 years. So that way, it is not fair, you see. I don't think that in such type of situation, immediate solution is there for all this problem. But almost all the working class, especially in organized cities, has become little economically and politically conscious. They started realizing that these mill owners are exploiting them, the governments are supporting them, and it is a vicious circle, and unless it is changed, you see, it is not the trade union basis the problems will be solved. So this is one of the awakening because of the strikes, and our unions in Maharashtra and Gujarat are becoming more strong, little more committed. In spite of suffering, the workers are becoming cautious. You see, that is a unusual change I am finding whenever I am seeing the working class. That is one thing, and even this struggle is appreciated by the poor farmers and landless laborers in Maharashtra and Gujarat also.
This is a very important
Because whenever I go, because these workers are not the workers, there are no factories, but they want to know, they are appreciating this struggle, you see, of these mill owner workers, their commitment, their spirit of fighting. Because in our country, many people are suffering, they are below the poverty line, and they are fooled by our so-called political parties. So the pinch is felt by everywhere, and because of this textile strike, even the people who have nothing to do, even they are not laborers, they are appreciating the spirit in which these strikes the workers has done, you see. That is one thing.
Look to the people for wisdom in the hard times coming ahead. We gonna sing and shout, we gonna work it out in the hard times coming ahead. With people's wisdom, with people's wisdom,
has been labeled as participatory research has perhaps been going on for centuries. But the term participatory research and the movement around it is only 8 to 9 years old. And the origins of it are in the adult education movement in Tanzania. And people engaged in the adult education process as a vehicle for the socio-economic transformation of that society recognized the limitations and the negative impact of classical research and began to question that and look around and invent ways to overcome this difficulty. And it was in 1976 Dar es Salaam Conference on Adult Education that for the first time some adult educators from the third and first world countries formed a small nucleus to articulate these concerns, and that is the origin of the label participatory research and the movement. We have been involved in several participatory research, training or evaluation efforts in the last several years, and a few months ago we began to think about the possibility of taking a critical look at our own experiences and those of others who are similarly engaged in this country to see whether various characteristics of participatory research as we have practiced or at least tried to practice, to what extent they really operate, what form they take, what shape they take. And it is in a way an exercise to analyze collectively our own experience and those of others who have been similarly involved. Presently what we thought and we believe participatory research implies for us is at least 5 key characteristics. The first one is, of course, the question of control. Who controls the objectives of research? Who controls the methods of research? Who controls the outcomes of research? And if we look at it from the classical research perspective, then this issue of control was never an issue, because it was assumed that the researcher decides the objectives and the researcher designs the study and the researcher collects the data and the researcher produces the output. What we are saying in participatory research is that this unilateral control is to be questioned, and in a way it is the very antithesis of any participatory grassroots practice. And so the issue of control is a central issue. The second question is more important, which is who benefits from this study? What is going to happen to this study? And particularly it's a matter of concern for us in a country like India, where we don't have too many resources to waste, where people have been doing research which is pointless, which is inconsequential. They have been studying inconsequential phenomena precisely. What is the fun of that? And we also believe that the ideology of the researcher gets reflected in this issue of control. And if the researcher